Bang, bang. What is going on, everybody? I am Dustin with DFS Dads. We're going to be bringing you our wide receiver plays of the week for week 16 of the NFL season for the Sunday slate. Before we get to those picks, though, please check us out, dfsdads.com, Facebook and Twitter, the DFS Dads, and here on YouTube, the notification bell. And as always, please hit that subscribe button. So DFS Dads, we're in full swing. We got NBA, NFL, we got PGA about to kick back off. We're making money, having fun. Come join our Slack, great community of guys and gals. Lots of ideas. You can ask questions directly. It's really fun atmosphere, and we make money, and that's the biggest thing. So come join us. Come check us out, dfsdads.com. So our wide receiver, I'm going to give you 3 picks this week. We'll do one top end range, one middle, and one kind of towards the bottom. Not going super low this week, but we'll get to that last. I'm going to start at the top here. So for week 16, at the top end, I'm going Calvin Ridley again. For those of you that watched last week, he was my top play, and he performed. 14 targets, 160 yards, and a touchdown. And the volume is just going to be there again. He got 12 targets the week before without Julio. They're playing Kansas City, so they're going to be trailing the entire game. And he's their best weapon. He's number 1 in deep targets in the NFL. He catches touchdowns in the red zone as well as anybody. And the volume, especially without Julio, is just going to be through the roof. So I expect him to get 12 to 16 targets, go over 100-plus yards, hopefully get us 2 touchdowns, but, at least 1. He's going to have a good week. He's got a plus matchup, I think plus 22% on the individual matchup according to PFF. And with 14-ish targets again, then he's talented and elite enough to get us where we want as far as points. You're looking somewhere in the 26 range to hit 3x. So I have no doubts that he's going to do that, especially given the game flow and the game script. And no Julio again. So fire Calvin Ridley up. He's 8,700 on FanDuel, so I like him there as well. Not much of a price difference from there in DK. Safe floor, so you can play him in pretty much any format, GPP, cash, obviously MME. So fire Calvin Ridley up, 85 DK, 87 on FanDuel. I will give it this caveat, though. I also love Tyreek. He's just got the hammy issue, and so I don't, soft tissue always worries me. So I'd rather go with somebody that's fully healthy than somebody that's nursing a hamstring injury. But both fully healthy, I would give the edge to Tyreek this week. I'm going to Calvin just because I don't want to risk that re-injury, especially on those super freakish athletes who, can re-injure it very quickly. All right, moving on down. My next play, the Pittsburgh Steelers, Deontay Johnson. 6,300 on DraftKings, and I believe he is, 6,700 on FanDuel. So this is an interesting stat here, and I've been on, for those of you that have been with us most of the year or early in the year, I've been all over Deontay since week 1, and more times than not, he's panned out, except when he got the back-to-back injuries, got a concussion, and then hurt his back. But other than that, the guy's had one bad game, and he just soaks up the volume. So he actually is number 1 in hog rate, right, which is targets per snap to the rate of passing game utilization. Basically, how much he's hogging the ball, right, in that sense. And he's number 1. Devontae is number 2. So that gives you any type of inclination of how he's used in their offense, then you want to play him, especially at 6,300. He's been a steal as far as his price point all year, and he continues to be. He's going to get 12 targets. I think in the last 7 games, he's gotten under 11 one time. So he's just, I mean, Big Ben loves him. He even had the dropsies a couple of weeks ago, and they actually set him for a little bit. He comes back and leads the team in targets again. So the guy's just going to get peppered by Big Ben. Big Ben loves him. And at 6,300 going up against Indianapolis, who, is okay in the secondary. Nobody's going to shadow him. You got Rocky Sin there on one side, and I forget who it is on the other. Yeah, Xavier Rhodes. I don't know why that eluded me. Xavier's a little better and lines up more Deontay, but Deontay kind of goes all over the place. They move him around a lot. So not concerned about the matchup. Pittsburgh's run game is terrible. I mean, they haven't been able to run on anybody hardly all year, and they looked obviously way worse as of late. So I expect Big Ben to throw a lot again in a game that, what their last 4 weeks have shown, they will be trailing, which obviously in fantasy purposes is good for us when we have that receiver. So Deontay, 6,300 on DK, 6,700 on FanDuel. He's a play in any type of format guy for this week because he's going to get the same volume as the upper tier guys, maybe even more. And he has just as much capability as far as scoring and his down the field threat. All right, so the lower end guy, and I am a Dallas Cowboys fan, so I like this. I think it's one of the few times in the last 7, post Dak, we'll put it that way, where I've been able to pick a Cowboys receiver, and I'm going with CeeDee Lamb. He is 5,300 on DK, and he is 6,000 on FanDuel. So the guy's seen a steady dose of 7 to 8 targets most games. They had a weird one with Cincy where they had the defensive touchdowns and 3 early turnovers. So they only got 2 targets that game, still put up 50 yards. So he's been utilized in the Cowboys offense. He actually leads the receivers there in targets per route at 22%. So 22% of his routes he's getting targeted, better than Cooper, Gallup, and anybody else. So I like him at that price point. They are going to be playing Philly, and I think what will be a high-scoring affair. I mean, the Cowboys are bad defensively, and Jalen Hurts in 2 weeks has looked very good because of his running ability, and that just opens things up on the backside, and he's a capable enough thrower where he can hurt you. So Cowboys are not good in the secondary. They're not good against the run. So I think Jalen has a great game against them, and they're going to be down and having to throw. You got Zeke banged up. Pollard had that long run at the end, but he was more successful in the pass game last week as well. And you had CD, who went for 85 yards. So CD hasn't scored a touchdown in, I think, 4 weeks. So he's kind of due to score. And the output's been there as far as the yardage and the targets. So I think it's a great week. Rivalry game, high scoring, in my opinion. And, the Cowboys are going to have to be throwing it. And Dalton has looked to CD more often. Cooper's been very quiet as of late. So CD, obviously explosive, plays in the slot, has a great matchup. He's the best matchup, according to PFF, of any of the Cowboys receivers, which is always a benefit too. So I think CeeDee Lamb down there is underpriced, 5,300 on DK, 57 or 6,000 on FanDuel. So I like him a little more on DK just because of the PPR, a little bit bigger gap than the other receivers as well. But I still think he's a great play on both sites. So those are our 3 receivers that we are liking for week 16. They all have big play potential. The top 2 guys are going to get a ton of targets, and then CD is going to get a steady 7 targets, 7, 8 targets, and at 5,300, we'll be able to pay off 3x value plus. So if you haven't already, please go check us out, dfsdads.com. Come join the family, make some money, and have some fun. All right, guys, good luck in week 16.